the pressure's kind of on the team too, and Ron Francis as well, because yeah, they make the playoffs in the second year, they get to the second round, but it's kind of been going backwards each of the year. And we even said at the beginning of the season when you came on, just did a Seattle Kraken video, that they probably weren't going to make the playoffs. But if they don't make the playoffs again, is there really pressure on here, maybe by ownership, to make a change at the general manager position?
Yeah, that's the interesting question, because I believe there's a year left. Will they give him the full 5? He didn't get the full 5 in Carolina, never made the playoffs in the 4 years as the GM or the assistant prior to that. Didn't get that 5th year. They booted him. Do they keep him around and let him have that 5th year here? Or do they say, you know what, this is not acceptable? Me, I'm changing personally. There's just too much baggage on the roster. Some of it was kind of the pressure of being an expansion team, and you make some of those signings, and you're kind of like, oh God, because you're kind of desperate to find a goalie, Philip Grubauer, who's, guess what, waived in the minor leagues for $5.9 million per season. Good luck getting rid of that.
Nope.
So that's a buyout possibility. That ownership loves that. Andre Burakovsky, 5.5. He's got a couple left. So, yeah, the Grubauer thing, it's tough. I think he played 31 and 30 games in back-to-back seasons as the number one $5.9 million guy. Pulled his groin both years, and then this year, early season, hurt himself at home. So, yeah, he's out. So, I don't know. I would see what he does at the trade deadline here, Ron. He's not exactly he's not like trader Jim Rutherford. He's made a couple deals this year, but he's not real active that way. So let's see what happens at the deadline. I think, by the way, if they do make a change, I would think it won't be before, but it might be after, because you want to have the new guy have an opportunity to see what he's got, address, evaluate a little bit as the thing winds down, and then have an opportunity to have the new guy be able to get to know the draft, the amateur scouting, all that good stuff, leading up to the draft and leading up to July 1st free agency.
That would make a lot of sense. And, Seattle, you mentioned that they have some players that potentially could move. I think Oliver Bjorkstrand's one. Yanni Gourde was a guy, but he's hurt, and he may not be moving now, but
he'll be moving. He'll be moving because he's UFA.
Yeah, so he'll be moving.
If they can move him, they'll move him for a 3rd or 4th rounder. And Brandon Tanev's another one. They could have got rid of Yanni Gourde in the summer, to be quite honest, and probably should have.
Yeah.
But you love your own guys.
Right.
And he's kind of a fan favorite, and so is Tanev. But you know what? Fan favorites will cost you Stanley Cup playoff trips and lose you your job. So, yeah, both those guys are 33 years old, turning 34 in December. They should be out the door at the trade deadline, if not earlier, for Gordon and Tanev. You would think so.
Yeah, you would think so. Same with Bjorkstrand, I would think. Maybe they move him out.
I think he's got a year. I'd have to check it. I don't remember, but he's been all right. I mean, he was an all-star for him last year. It's, the lines have changed 1,000 times. The power play is not very good. PK's kind of a little under that. So there's work to be done. And as you pointed out, I said at the beginning of the season, they weren't going to make the playoffs. They're not going to. And now the pressure's on Ron Francis to be an effective decision maker. He's got to look to next season and beyond.